Hello, folks. Welcome to Cinema Alley Encore with your host, James Howe. And
Chris Cupp. Hi, everybody.
I know we haven't done that in a while, not since like the first episodes of Cinema
Yeah,
Alley and everything. Usually I've always done it
we
because, yeah.
we've gone through a lot of changes since then.
I mean, yeah, technically, yeah, we have and everything, though by the time people release this, it's all like, they're all like, what the hell changes he's talking about? And it's like, well, it's like I grew out my facial hair a lot more. And
Well,
I,
you'll see.
I think our I think our chemistry also got a little bit better. We had to work out all the nuts and bolts just to get this
Yeah, I
done.
mean,
But
when you said I was crazy for renting the RV to cook the drugs in, but I mean, we're we're good at that stuff, so we'll be fine. Got your
not funny, not funny. Oh my god! But yeah, so we're covering the writer's strike today. We're covering the writer's strike. We're gonna ease into it a little bit. I don't really want to jump in 2 feet deep because obviously we're only skimming the top of this. First off, we have to give our thoughts. What did you think about our RoboCop episode?
I think it was fun. I mean, like right now I'm in Detroit and I'm just
Oh,
constantly reminiscing about it. So,
that's even perfect and
yeah, I was
everything.
just like, "Where's RoboCop?"
You haven't seen no sniper rifles with like explosive missile bullets or whatever.
Yeah,
It's not
super
like,
disappointing.
yeah, that was supposed to be
Like
what, the year
it's
2000?
actually
Was that what that year?
I
I
thought it
think it
was
was.
like late 90s or something. They thought shit was gonna go down so
I
bad.
I
It's
forgot.
actually been pretty low key.
Yeah, I forgot what movie it was that technically we were already supposed to. It was a really big sci-fi thing, and it was all like the year 2003, and I was like, yeah, no, 2003 was nowhere near that in science fiction. Oh, Minority
Yeah.
Report. That's what it
Oh
was.
yeah, that
Minority
was like
Report.
2040 or something, wasn't it?
Chris they may have changed it.
Yeah.
Chris I thought, like, I read in the script that it was 2003 and everything.
Oh, it could have been. I mean, I
Yeah,
know it was released in 2003, but or
yeah,
around that time. But
yeah, and everything. It's supposed to be the future. Everything looks like it's in the 50s. Um, I know this is pretty damn early to talk about it, but yeah, we are covering Minority Report for the next season. So I think that's why the year 2003 popped in my head. I do believe not only year the movie came out, but I think that was the year that it actually took place in. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, you want to get into that writer's strike,
There's a writer's strike?
right?
What?
I mean,
Oh
like,
my
have you sat
God.
there and seen like what's going on with TV land?
Yeah. Been passively, paying attention and stuff, but like
Jimmy Fallon hasn't posted another video of him doing a musical act with Paul Rudd or
yeah.
Timberlake or John Cena. You know,
Yeah. I mean, like I feel like it's a long time coming because just for this last 10 years we've been dealing with streaming coming into the main focus for a lot of like uh entertainment TV studios and just kind of replacing cable and everyone needing to get content out as quickly as possible. So you're
we
gonna be
needed this.
overworking your creatives
Mm-hmm.
to the fucking bone. So
But you know
yeah,
what's funny
and
though is that TV used to get 22 episode seasons. These now are only getting 8 to 10, maybe even 6.
yeah, but at least they had more time to prep.
True, true.
They had like the TV season started in the fall and then ended in the spring toward right before summer,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like all summer to prep for that stuff. And sometimes they would be prepping like before the end of the season, and they would film like towards the end or they would finish the season like towards the end of March or beginning of April, and
Yeah,
they would be like already like signed on for the next season and prepping in the writers' room.
yeah.
But like with this stuff, you gotta like probably like 6 months between. Well, not 6 months. That's plenty of time. But like,
I was about to say, what the
yeah, no,
fuck are you
like
doing in your
probably
free
six
time in
weeks.
between?
You
Well,
got so much stuff, and you don't get residuals from a lot of streaming like contracts,
Well, that's what
and
we're going
like
to talk
so like
about. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's a little bit of a brief introduction of what we're briefly going to cover for this. Um, I do have some sources that will be dropped into the comments down below for your guys' viewing and watching pleasure, uh, to learn a little bit more, to kind of get below the surface level of the strike, because there's so many other levels to this. First off, the Writers Guild versus the Alliance of the Motion Picture and Television Producers, the AMPTP. I love how Michael Jamin sat there said that they had to pick such a difficult acronym. It does not roll off the tongue. WGA.
So evil.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Definitely feels like that. It's it's producers. Not saying every producer is evil, but you
It's
know,
I mean, if it was an acronym that made sense, that would mean they're evil and competent. So that
I
there's
mean, like
an upside.
like in SpongeBob, they at least sat there and made the acronym of evil. It's like every villain is lemon. So at least you were
Yeah.
able to play with it. But yeah, so this has been a long time coming, like what Chris sat there and said with the introduction to streaming. It's the residuals. I used to keep calling them royalties, but no, it's called residuals. Royalties are a totally different thing. Uh, Writers were technically being screwed. Uh, they were, one of the most struggling um, people in the film industry, in TV industry, all in a whole, and everything. Because usually, from what I've heard with other past TV writers and screenwriters, it's you could usually probably do a TV show a year, and that could sit there. You could float on that. You could make a living off of that. And now it's like you have to do multiple. You have to work on multiple ones,
Yeah.
but because the
And they're so
payment's
much
just not there.
shorter. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so much shorter, and
Well,
there's so
they're
much
so
of a
much more
gap
shorter,
between
but
filming.
also too there's the drastic cut in prices because they keep cutting everything. It's like you can only cut so
Yeah.
much into a budget to the point where it's like, yeah, just cut the freaking writers' pay. What are they gonna do? They need the money, and the writers are done with it. So the WGA had a meeting with the evil organization of AMPTP, uh, and this is pretty much kind of what they had, where they asked for the increased minimum pay. That's minimum, increased minimum pay in all areas of media, so cable, streaming, everything. Increased residuals. Is appropriation of TV writing payment from pre-production to post. So maybe some people that aren't in the film world don't really know is when you write for, say, a film or TV, you don't just sit there and write at the beginning and then that's it, and then you walk off. It's like, no, you're very much locked into the film, and so when they need rewrites, if they need polishes, you were constantly there, even all the way to post production. You're constantly there for all these rewrites. Um, it just comes with a job. I know I was shocked because I used to sit there and think, oh, I could write all these damn scripts, freaking send them off, don't have to worry about them. And yeah, one of my friends opened my eyes. It's like, oh, it's not that simple and everything. It's not that simple, even though it's not even simple to even pitch and sell. I knew that it was not. That was taking a hard work, but you don't just stop there with your baby. You go through the whole long haul, and so yeah, to sit there and learn that, yeah, you're going through um, the what would you sit there? What would you say is the average for even just for a film for principal photography and filming? What do you think is the
Budget wise,
no, no,
I
no. I
mean,
mean,
like,
you only have this amount of time to shoot before you jump right into
oh,
post production.
usually shooting is like a month or two if
Mm-hmm.
it's like a small thing. It can go to
So,
like 3 or 4, or unless you're James Cameron, you're shooting for 20 fucking years.
so yeah, so you already have like the unknown time for pre-production because hell, your shit can fall in pre-production
Yeah,
hell, and that could be rewrites, and some of that isn't really rewrites. Some of it is just pitching it to the right fucking producer or whatever, getting someone to fucking pick it up. So you have
yeah.
that, which that can be tossed in the air, and then you have generally a month or two, maybe three, depending if you're making like a huge epic, like a well, I think even was it like Nolan's epics? Like I think he's still able to shoot them within 1 to 2 months or so.
Yeah.
Um, but still,
And
you
there's a
have
lot
that
of
time,
stuff like that goes into that.
and then you
But
have
a
your
lot of that's probably
posts,
post production.
And yeah,
Well,
your post production is what takes the main bulk of it because it's putting everything together and ADRing
and
and it's all the nuts and bolts. But still, you have to be there for like, oh, did such and such say a line differently? Is there a way that maybe we could get them to say something else and it could still work with the editing? You're still working on that. So
and
obviously that takes a lot of your time as a writer,
I,
just as much as any other part in the film industry.
I mean,
Chris.
sometimes they'll be working up till like the day, like the month before the theatrical release. But with a lot of these streaming services, there are no theatrical releases, and you get them on straight to the streaming service. So
Exactly.
it can hurt them. And they
And
aren't guaranteed uh, like jobs right after that either. So like writers are like having to look for jobs.
it's a gig to
Mm,
gig basis, even though the studios keep saying that it's technically not a gig because they are promised supposedly work. Which, to me, I think even people who aren't in the film industry would sit there and know that no, it's like there's no way in hell you're promised a job. It's like we're not even really promised a job. We're only here working until the boss man finds someone better, or until we
yeah.
get pissed off enough to the point that we quit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
some
so
clashing creative visions.
there you
Like
go.
someone could be dropped over the simplest thing. You think you got a job for like the next 3 months. You could be dropped the first week if you're clashing with the director and his vision,
Yeah,
and it's
or
just
vice
it's
versa.
not
And
as stable.
no, it's not. And then there is the increase in pension and health plans, which this one I thought was actually really good because I had no clue
Yeah,
how many. And I'm just not talking about like big Hollywood writers. I mean like the little people that I know here in the independent film stuff where they don't really have health insurance, or if they do, they're struggling to keep it because of the jobs. So that's why they take on teaching gigs or they take on other forms of income that's like I'm just trying to keep my health insurance so if I get sick I have something to
yeah,
double back on, and strengthening the professional standards of working in the industry. And yeah, like they're not the only people suffering, and with this strike is definitely going to sit there and grow and come to other strikes such as supposedly as of right now that we're recording this, not when we release it, it could change. The Screen Actor Guild is thinking about joining the Writers Guild and striking due to the poor payment. And if they go in there, WGA and any other unions, like they can easily sit there and it's like, you know what? Yeah, we want to get paid better. Um, and when you look at the CEOs that owe all the studios, they're making fucking money. They're making way more money than really. Like usually to me, it's like you can never have too much money. But if you're making so much freaking money to the point that the people that you're supposed to be paying to create shit are not,
yeah.
making a fine living, it's like you need to start fucking skimming some of the top off of that fat and everything and start throwing it right back down to fucking feed your crops. It's
And
like
like a studio can have a successful movie, but say they aren't it hasn't been profitable and use that as an excuse not to pay someone. Like for instance, I think Men in Black, the very first one. I don't
mm-hmm,
think I think I just read an article about that a few months ago. That one hasn't been profitable for the studio, so the writer who wrote it still hasn't gotten residuals from those. So
really.
that's another. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that. I need to double check that, but I'm
I was about to
pretty
say
sure
I
that's
would
what I
love
read.
it that you would send that, and I would definitely sit there and drop that into the
Yeah.
comments below. Again, like I'm kind of new at this comments below thing. I kind of like it. I may abuse it a little bit. It's like this is
Yeah, we still
down
have
here at
to
the
learn how
comments
to
below.
use Discord.
Pretty much and everything. It's all a learning process. I taught a almost 50-year-old man how to use Discord last night. So it's like if he can learn it, you can learn it. But yeah, so apparently the pay increase that the WGA is at least asking for from the AMPTP is $429 million per year, at least. Because apparently they're not making anywhere around that and everything. But at
Yeah.
least that could be a comfortable amount of living, you know, um, to sustain yourself on living in LA. Because just living in California From what I'm hearing, LA's expensive, but California is just,
It's
they're taxing the shit out of them, you know.
yeah, it's not fun. That's why everyone's leaving. That's why everyone's coming to Texas and coming to the Midwest. It's
Pretty much,
cheaper down here.
yeah. And the AMPTP had counter offered their I was about to say $429 million with 86 mil.
Yeah.
I did had they were lucky I'm not there. I'd have smacked the son of a bitch that sat there and freaking dropped that number. It's like we asked for 429 and you couldn't even give us anything over 100 mil. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, tell me, is David Zaslav really, broke? Is he really broke?
Well,
No, it's
that's the guy who that's Discovery Warner Brothers, right?
yeah. He's one of the big ones. He's one of the big ones that is making
Yeah.
a lot of money and everything.
I can
That's
see
just a random
like
because he's popping in. He's popping in for
yeah.
what we'll talk about it once. Hopefully, we try to wrap this up. We will talk about what I've learned about Zaslav here as of recent because that man has gotten on the shit list of a lot of people over at Warner.
Because of
This
the whole restructuring of Warner Brothers or
Well, yeah, it's the restructuring, but again, we'll talk later about this because we gotta get this one. We gotta finish this horse ride before we hop on the freaking next.
okay, all
Yeah,
right. All
because this one right here, this one's gonna be great. It's a screamer. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. And a lot of some of the stuff that I've learned it through Vulture.com with the 2023 WGA Strike for Dummies, written by Jason P. Frank. And I also thrown in case if you don't want to read an article, there are these 2 YouTube videos, which, I definitely trust a lot of the content that these guys make. They seem to be a little bit more reliable, not so much like over exaggerated. But the Hollywood Writers Strike Explained from the Nerdist, and Hollywood on Strike Who Cares by Wisecrack. I really enjoy Wisecrack. I like a lot of their videos, their commentary on social stuff and everything. They do really, really good, and I love their animation for
yeah.
their graphics. Oh my god, that shit's so fucking smooth. It's like butter and everything.
Ooh,
Yeah.
pictures.
You can just go look it up on YouTube. Like, just pick one random thing, and it's like chocolate forming into like this. I think it's supposed to be a donkey and everything. I could be wrong and everything. And then like the little wrapper breaks, and it's like the little chocolate thing. I have no clue where they came up with the idea, but it works. It's the most pleasing graphic. Anyway, back on. So that's pretty much the setup here for what the WGA is. They want a fucking fair pay. They want a fair pay. And there was one thing I did mention. Control over the AI stuff. So this is one of the newer things that I think came right after the meeting, or maybe it was thrown in last minute, that the studios pretty much want to sit there and throw AI in there. And to me, that's like a whole nother topic at hand that we'll discuss later on. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I mean the whole like I'd probably go into the whole I had a whole arguments with people about this.
but but
Just
but
like
but
I
but
think
the
the whole
video.
idea is an abomination.
The videos that I drop down below, they talk about that a little bit, and they kind of
Yeah.
give a better perspective. My whole thing is I dealt with a guy already that sat there and laughed that apparently we were being replaced by AI, and it's like, what the fuck you laughing at? It's all like, yeah, they're coming after my damn freaking job, but you know what? They'll come after yours next sooner or later. It's all like,
Yeah.
and
They
and you know
already
who's
like
gonna be laughing when you're crying? And it's like, it's gonna be me because I told you,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's what happens when you try to laugh at other people's,
They're already doing that
misery.
with the actors and models with AI,
Yeah,
like like licensing their faces and shit.
I
They had a
heard that
whole
like
Black Mirror episode about this.
I heard that they sit there and they make, I think, 75 cents of a dollar or something like that. I forgot where I get that statistic from. There was something I was watching or reading about it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And there's like people's like, oh yeah, I can get booked and it can all get overlapped. I just gotta go in there, they scan my face, and bam, I'm an actor. And I was like, oh, I would love to fucking hear the actor's fucking point of view on this. I'm pretty sure most of them are like, you are not a fucking actor. You just come in for a picture, and then they just throw your fucking face on it. It's
Yeah,
like, oh
they'll
my
probably
god.
dub you over with somebody like Matthew McConaughey or something. Just like, all
You know
right,
what? I
all
would
right,
like
all right.
someone to take my face and put it on McConaughey's body and just have that McConaughey voice. I don't. That wasn't McConaughey and
Uh,
everything, but
well,
yeah, like All right, all right, all right.
studios wanting control over AI and allowing AI to take writers' jobs is just disgusting to me, man. Just the idea of it
I guarantee you the
is
reason why the
just
writers are joining in is because probably of that, of the AI thing where they can
yeah,
just go in, scan the people, and then that's it. Which to me, it's all like, yeah, it's cutting costs, and then I understand it's business, but at the same fucking damn time, you are fucking butchering the shit out of your industry right now. You're butchering it,
yeah,
and most of them don't care. They don't care. You know, there are some that care because probably some of them actually did come from a creative background, so they may care. And
yeah,
it's not every studio head, I believe, and not every producer that is all like the writers don't deserve this payment, because apparently there's a lot of them that have been trying to bridge the gap for everything. You know, they're all like, you know, we're fucking bundled in with these assholes, but we're trying to find the common ground. We may not be able to give you the number exactly what you want, but you know what? We'll try to come as close to get it. And you got to give kudos to those guys and everything that they are at least trying to they're trying to get the strike away so we can all get back to business, you know. The
yeah.
Disney stuff, so I guess we can go on to talk about what the strike has done to the industry and everything. What's it going to do? The writer strike back in 2007, we kind of had some stinker films. uh,
Quantum of Solace. They ruined that James Bond movie. So,
I don't think I've actually seen that one, so I think I saved myself.
oh really? Oh
Yeah.
my God! Just
Wait, was that the
it
one that James
feels
Bond
like
got hit in the nuts with that weird thing, or was that
no, that's
Casino
Casino
Royale?
Royale. That's the
Ooh,
good one.
Casino Royale
No,
makes me
because
cringe every time I see that one. Matt McKelton's a
Quantum of
fucking
Solace
monster.
is just like people like it. They get everyone in the scene. They say like dialogue and they do whatever to push to the next scene, and it's just like there's
Ooh.
no emotion or depth in any of these conversations that are happening. There's just him going from one scene to the next, and it you can tell no one was in the writers' room. They didn't have a script,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the same was it was the same for Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. I mean, I don't want to like bitch too much about a Transformers movie like
I was
being
about to say,
bad, but
if
like
Michael Bay Transformers movie, you ain't gonna get fucking great character development. You're just gonna get solar flares and like
yeah,
explosions. That's all you're
it's
gonna get.
just
You know.
you trust like someone who isn't a writer who doesn't know how to craft a story is just going to push things from one scene to the next and isn't going to understand like character consistency, isn't going to understand the rules of the world that were supposed to be set up, and it's just you need the creative mind to understand what this world is, and
Mm-hmm.
they need a bible to have someone write a bible for whatever they're filming.
Yeah.
It's just you need a writer for that. Like you
Yeah.
can't just wing it,
You
or
can't
else you're
cut.
gonna make a shitty movie.
Yeah, you can't cut every fucking. There has to be some fucking fat. There has to be some fucking healthy fat. You know.
Yeah.
Um, and to be honest, like to I just think of the studios is like the studios can probably sit there and look at it as we can probably still make a profitable, big budget, um, you know, summer blockbuster, but do it with like an indie size cast and crew, and you just can't. Sometimes you need those extra fucking people, like you need the fucking writer, you know. It's not the '80s where you can just take a fucking damn camcorder and like $20,000, probably even less than that, and then go fucking film a movie and it becomes an instant success. It's not like that and everything, you know. You have all these other variables that you fucking need and everything. I know I kind of look like I got you lost there. I'm pretty sure I got a little lost too, but it's the ADHD brain. I'm
Well,
sorry. Um,
it's all right.
but
I'm just
but
letting you finish.
yeah, but like you know, it's again, yeah. What you said about Quantum of Solace, that was back in 2009. I don't remember specifically. Was it pay again for the writers, or was that like
I
being
think it
credited
was.
correctly?
Um, it might have been accreditation too, because I mean, writers probably didn't weren't getting like the credit they deserve on a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
Um,
I do know right now
People getting
credits becoming a big thing with the Max stuff, because they're now all being credited as created by or creators and everything. They're all getting like one little title of this is your credit as creator on HBO Max, now called Max. And it's like, ooh, I haven't checked back up on if they fixed that fuck up, but um,
Wait, what fuck up for the HBO Max?
HBO Max and everything was having it where they weren't, I think, doing like directed by, produced by, screenplay, story by. They were doing it as they were jumbling up as creators
Oh,
and everything. I haven't heard too much more about that. I think mostly some of the other stuff, like predominantly the AI talk with the Writers Guild and payment. That's more or less that's kind of taken everything, and it's kind of been swept in there. Like, yeah, like Max, what the fuck is this shit? Get this creators by shit out of here and properly credit us as director, producer, screenwriter, executive producer, all this other stuff. Um,
yeah.
they're definitely just trying to chop so much away and just jumble everyone else up, and it's all like, what are you really doing? What are you really doing other than probably pissing off the guy who does the credits, because the guy's all like, I'm sorry, I don't have no freaking control over this, like the fucking boss told me. It's like, you know
Yeah, well, I mean, he's supposed to get the fucking call sheet and like credit, put everybody in there, you know.
yeah.
Uh,
But also at the same time, if when he did that and everything, they would be like, um, what is it? Oh, I just lost my fucking train of thought. Thank you, fireworks. Right when I had that thought, boom, boom, boom. I don't know if you folks can hear that, but Chris apparently can't hear it. But yeah, do do do, and like bam, there
I
went
can't
my
hear
thought.
nothing.
Thank fucking God,
I'm
that.
deaf.
Well, you're in Detroit, so they don't shoot fireworks in the city. You're fucking lucky. I live out here in the country, or quote unquote country, and everything, and yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, if you hear pops in the city, that's probably not fireworks.
What do you mean?
but
What's wrong with Detroit?
but but moving to today, we've already sat there and saw that, it's kind of like the same thing like 2007. The late night talk show guys and SNL, they're off. They're protesting. You ain't getting nothing new from these guys. You're not getting a new Jimmy Fallon musical. You're not getting whatever, political parody from SNL. Um, and the shocking thing that I find of it is right when the strike started, two TV shows that were highly acclaimed had just ended. Succession and Barry. They had just recently ended. I think Better Call Saul ended right before the strike. I think that one ended right
Yeah,
before.
Better Call Saul, I think, ended a few months ago. Like I think at the
Okay,
beginning of
yeah,
the year or
because
something,
I think
but
I think May. Isn't it
or
May?
late last year. I
Was it late
remember
last year?
like everyone. I I remember everyone getting all sad about it ending, but like, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but either way,
I haven't been able to check.
you had two big TV shows that were drawing big numbers, uh, especially
Hmm.
for because I do believe Barry was on cable. I could have swore I thought Succession was on like a
Barry
streaming.
and Succession were both HBO shows. I actually
Oh,
just finished
okay.
watching Barry. And honestly, that show needed to end. It came to its natural conclusion, honestly, and
Like
I couldn't see them
did
going for
that
another season.
season definitely feel poor, or did they just end it
It
at the
didn't
right
feel
moment?
poor. It's just it tied everything together and it ended his story. And if they tried to like stretch that shit out anymore, it would have just been a disservice to the show.
They
So
kind of
like
wind up like the last season
everything
of The
came to an end.
Office, or really
Yeah.
the last couple of seasons of
Oh,
The Office. Technically, a lot of people sat there said that show ended when Michael left, but I did enjoy
yeah.
some of the Robert California shit. I did enjoy those. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah,
They should have just
with
get
shows
Michael.
like that, and then a lot of the shows that we're anticipating on Handmaid's Tale's final season. I don't watch that show and everything, but we have friends that do. They have like we don't know when that season's going to come off because I think they were still writing it. Um, and it was through this show I found out about mini rooms, which has become a new thing. That's like where they just put the writers in. They don't. I don't think they refer to it as a writers' room anymore. I guess they just referred for this film or not film this TV. The writers' room. It's like a mini. So I think it's like only small
Do they
handful of
throw them in a
writers.
closet and say, "Don't
That's
come
what
out until you have a
it's.
script" or
That's
something?
what it sounds like sometimes, but I think it's like it's only like I don't even want to sit there and say a handful of writers. I think it's less than that, and they're just thrown into a room to crunch out episodes, um,
Yeah,
which already doesn't sound good. You know that it's like.
that sounds poor working conditions right there. That sounds like just
I
someone's
mean, technically, they're in
locked you
poor
in a
working
padded room,
conditions.
like, "Come up with a story."
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have that, and then like Disney's Daredevil TV show that we're all looking forward to. I think most of now the MCU has all been pushed back by a few years, um,
That's fine. They need
because of
to
that.
take a step
Sure,
back.
they do and everything, but at the same time, like I look at all the other stuff. Like I'm actually really intrigued with what DC's going to do. Everything, even though the Flash did not do as outstanding as it did, and I actually heard that the Eternals is speedster graphics were a lot better than the Barry Allen one for the film, and that was on a lower budget
Yeah.
compared to
I
the
watch
200
I
230 million budget, and it's like what the
I
fuck.
saw it opening night, and oh my god, everything you probably heard is just it's true and worse. It just looks so bad.
I actually
And
heard it was
like
pretty good, but when you start looking at like the nitpicking, like some of the CGI, it didn't feel finished.
CGI babies.
Yeah, and
And I lost respect for the director after he said, "Well, we're seeing things from the Flash's perspective, so everything's gonna look a little off." Like, no, you didn't finish the visual effects. Like that's what this is,
yeah,
and it you can clearly tell, and it annoys the crap out of me when they just don't come out and say the truth.
yeah.
Like people won't be able to handle it,
But
but
at the same
like
time, I'm pretty
that's
sure
what
they're
happened.
contractually obligated. Hey, you can't shit on this fucking film you directed. Because I'm pretty sure if most directors came
Probably,
out,
yeah.
they would be like, yeah, it's supposed to be a finished product, but in all honesty, it's like we actually like still need about like another 2 months left on visuals, and they're not going to give that to us because they want to make they want to release this film, which is what it was supposed to release back in 2022 originally. No,
I
wasn't it
think it
supposed
was
to?
originally supposed to come out in 2018.
Sure.
I think it was supposed to come out like after Justice League or something, or sometime after Aquaman. I think Aquaman,
Yeah, because
and then it
Aquaman
was
was
going to
I
be the
think
Flash, and then
the,
they
the
were
the Aquaman sequel was supposed to come out before this Flash movie now, and it was supposed to set up the
yeah,
reason why Bruce Wayne was in it. And now that's all
yeah.
fucked up. And I'm kind of wondering now if Warner Brothers is just going to write Aquaman sequel off as a tax write off like they did the Batgirl stuff. Um,
They, I don't see them doing that because the first one made 1 billion, so like they're probably banking on this one to make up the money lost by the Flash, and they want to try to get people in the theaters and like
yeah,
and get them to go see
but
Blue Beetle, which is coming out
my
next.
thing is though is why put that out there when it's not going to mean anything. That's the thing to I feel like about the
They
fans
got to
like
make money.
it's not gonna mean yeah a business thing they got to make money, but story wise it's all like why you guys are like gonna recast this guy as Lobo apparently. So it's like why the fuck should I care about his Aquaman character if he's gonna go be
Yeah,
Lobo. Now
I mean
I haven't heard no more on that
they
story, so I
have
don't know if they
to.
got rid of that.
I mean, I think James Gunn squashed those rumors because, like, you can't. He's trying not to discourage people from seeing these last two movies because, like,
Mm-hmm.
he's probably said, look, he and David probably had a meeting saying, look, we have to get these movies out. We have to try to make as much money as we can. They're probably gonna bomb, but like, we have to try. That's probably where they're at right now
Yeah,
with the franchise, and then they can jump into James Gunn's new universe. So
with
that's probably where
Superman
they're at right now.
Legacy. That I cannot wait for. That's
Yep.
gonna be a pretty good one, especially when they're bringing in the Authority. Supposedly from what I heard
I'm
is
not
that
familiar with him.
the Authority is like the boys, but they're far edgier. They're from the Wildstorm imprint. I wasn't familiar with them too, but like there's
Okay.
like two guys that they're technically not even the leaders of the group, but it's essentially it's what
Yeah.
if Batman and Superman were gay for each other, um, and like and
That's
like
funny.
they flat out murdered because like I think what was it like they don't know who their real identity is like that was wiped away from them,
That
and so
knowing
they
James Gunn's like uh
form a
wanting
comedy.
like yeah his former comedy and his taste in comics, that makes sense because if you've seen a lot of his, you've seen Super, Brightburn,
Mm-hmm.
and just all of his comic book movies have that edgier violence to
Yeah.
them,
Um,
and
and they
like
think
I
that they're
can't wait for
gonna.
the
I know some fans have been. I know, like we're a little off topic, but I really want to talk about this. But yeah, there's been people that sat there and said that apparently it's supposed to be Superman versus the Elite, but they're replacing the Elite with the Authority, and that this is supposed to
yeah
spring into the movie The Authority, which is supposed to explain, I guess, where these guys came from and new leadership, new members, because they're supposed to be bringing in new and old members, and that's what's going to be this new
yeah
group, and that supposedly they're going to be inspired by Superman to be better. And it's all like you have like at least two people that have a machine in their head that tells them how to kill in the most like brutal fashion ever. Because like the Batman guy, the Midnighter and everything, apparently has like one cool line from one video I saw that's all like, before I even stepped in this room, I already knew how to kill you and everything. So like everything that
pretty
you're thinking
badass.
right now is like totally worthless because you're all gonna die. And it's all like, oh, that's like kind of cool for maybe one panel, and then like to me, I look story wise like, oh, these guys seem indestructible. Why the fuck would I watch it? But then I watched The Boys, and those guys I think handled it. So as long as they don't try to make it too much of a carbon copy of The Boys, um, I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, so
Yeah,
like
and I
this is like the kind
respect
of
him for
thing
doing something different.
with the writing strike, and even James Gunn's with the writing strike, and he's supposed to be overhead in this whole fucking damn universe that's supposed to be coming. But yeah,
Yeah.
Daredevil, Disney's Daredevil, it's being pushed back and everything because that's supposed to be, I think, what, 22 episodes? That's supposed to be a big season. I think it's supposed to be 18 or 22. It's supposed to
That
be
is
somewhere.
gonna. The Netflix show only had 13 episodes per season, and
And
like,
those were
if they're
perfect.
all an hour long, like you're gonna be stretching the shit out of that storyline.
Something
Like
tells me because
whatever.
of what they did with She-Hulk and everything, it's all going to be half hour long. So it's probably going to be episodes that are part one, part two, maybe one that's like a one-off that's supposed to tie into like the next part two or part three. Because like there used to be some animated shows that they did that, like Batman animated series. Sometimes they did two-parters, but they didn't make every damn episode like, oh, it's part of this, and it's all one little arc, and we're doing all these mini arcs. Um,
Yeah, I'm just not excited about the upcoming stuff, especially when it's coming from Marvel on Disney Plus. Like
yeah,
after like She-Hulk and stuff, like I haven't even seen the last like three Marvel movies except for Guardians of the Galaxy. I went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
that one
That
made
was
me
like
cry.
the last one I really liked
Go watch
since like
Guardians.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but
so
yeah,
I'm just
so
yeah.
there's a bunch of TV and everything, and I definitely sit there and feel like with the studios trying to use AI, oh my god, like if we sat there and thought Quantum of Solace was shit, like we're gonna probably sit there and see some super super bad fucking
Yeah.
films.
I
Um,
have no doubt that AI is totally capable of churning out a movie fit for theatrical release.
yeah,
Do I think there's anyone in Hollywood that's smart enough to recognize what's good and what's bad? Not really.
yeah. That
And
that
if they're
more
gonna take
depends on how
out
the
the
crowd.
creatives
Yeah, but
and
the whole thing is it's you can use AI as a tool. You can use it as a tool, but don't
but
use it as the main tool. You know, uh,
yeah,
because
it's like
I
special effects. You use it, you only use it to enhance something
yes.
like that's already there.
Well, like, have you seen the Nick Fury Secret Invasion stuff?
I haven't watched Secret
Well, that
Invasion
one
yet.
got
I
some
actually
controversy for
just
the AI stuff because they used for the opening. They use though it was you're fighting the scrolls, so you're looking at something that's supposed to look human but isn't human,
yeah.
and it's kind of like the opening credits, and you could tell, and they even have it in the credits. Oh, like these artists worked in this AI thing to make the opening. Like that's the only thing, as
Yeah.
far as I know, that did AI, um, and it actually fit. It fit the narrative because the AI is trying to make something look human when it's not, and that's what the scrolls are trying to do. They're trying to look human, but they can't completely do the whole, human thing. And so, yeah, I kind of feel like okay, that's used in the proper way because you have illustrators with consent, you have artists with consent to work with this program, this AI program, to make this opening. You know, Now, if they just did that for that, that's fine. Like, believe it or not, you save a lot of money probably just doing an opening for a TV show or a movie if you did kind of the AI stuff, and then bam, just jump right into your fucking movie. Unless your movie is all fucking film and you don't want no AI enhancement shit, that's fucking fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a crazy world out there, Chris. I know we jumped over so
I
many
haven't
topics.
noticed. I'm just like having a great time in my padded room, so whatever's happening outside, it's not
Yeah.
on me.
I mean, this week I'm catching up with so much film news, and I will sit there and say to keep up to date on the WGA, I do follow the Hollywood Reporter, and they do have like an article that releases. I don't think it's every day, but it's every couple of days where it's like the what is it, the anonymous WGA striker diary and everything. And every now and then I brush
Yeah.
through that. I'll go through it. I listen to Michael Jamin on Instagram. I've been meaning to take a free seminar from him. So there you go. There's a plug. He didn't have to fucking ask me for it because I like the guy. He wrote King of the Hill. He wrote Glenn Martin DDS, which is totally fucking underrated. That show
Yeah.
came way fucking ahead of its time. But yeah, even he covers, and he's part of the writer's strike, and he talks about it. And what's funny is he does post his residuals that he gets from TV stuff. So this is gonna be like the last thing when it comes to money. So when I discovered about Netflix's residuals are far much more lower than TV stuff. Uh,
Yeah, that's what
and
I've read.
huh?
That's what I've read. Is that
Yeah,
Netflix doesn't really pay shit.
yeah. And I think it was one of the videos that talks about it. I believe it's probably Wisecrack that one writer supposedly would get a $12,000 residual thing from cable, but he only got $4 from Netflix.
Yeah,
That jump from 12K residuals to only
that,
$4. Holy
that
fucking
shit
shit.
can hurt.
And so obviously, yeah, when it comes to looking at streaming services, we definitely need to definitely strengthen up. And who knows, maybe if we actually do this, maybe Netflix will stop making so many crappy shit. You know, like I know film.
The big F.
Yeah, it is
The
a
only
big
thing
F.
I'm really looking forward to is Stranger Things season 5, and I
Pretty
know that's
much.
like 2 years away
I can't
anyway.
believe Cody
So
reminded me that this day of that, man, dude, it's been a year, and I was like, has it? Holy
yeah,
shit! And it's like, man, but no, it's like, you know, I know that film is very much like any other art form. It's whoever views it, they can view it as, oh, this is great, and oh, this is terrible, or oh, this is mid at best. Um, but still, the fact that as much as what Netflix has brought out, and it's kind of what hurt the company, it's not so much that there's all these streaming services. It's fucking Netflix is throwing everything at the damn wall. They're investing in the wrong things. They're obviously, for once, there's only one part of like a Netflix story that I definitely don't side with the writers, and that's The Witcher. Um, I truly do believe that they're gonna either kill off Geralt or write Geralt off, and whoever Liam Hemsworth is gonna play, I truly do believe that that's probably gonna be a new Witcher.
they're probably gonna be like do a shape shifting spell or something on him,
Oh God, I
and
hope not.
just
But
yeah, that's probably what
the
they're gonna
trailer kind of
do.
sells me it's Geralt's last adventure almost.
Yeah,
Oh, I've never been afraid until now. It's like, come on, when you have a character like that, usually that's when you get ready to write them off. They either get so damaged, or yeah, you can do the shapeshifter thing. Maybe Geralt got so fucked up in the face that it's like he turned into Liam Hemsworth, and
I had to fix your face somehow, and now you look like this guy. And like, he'll probably just grunt and move on. But like, honestly, like,
fuck.
I'm probably gonna just watch season 3 and that's it. I mean, I'm not gonna. The Blood Origins was just dog shit, like writing wise,
Yeah.
just totally inconsistent
But
character
but see, that's the
motivations.
thing. That's the thing that is what's wrong with Netflix is Netflix keeps dropping so many of these what ifs. Like I do think that some of their action stuff is actually pretty good. Their stuff with Adam
Yeah,
Sandler is pretty good. There's a couple stinkers in there, like the what was that western he did that was like a parody of the Magnificent Seven.
the Ridiculous Six.
There you
That
go.
was
Uh,
that was very
that was very bad. That was
yeah. I mean, I like some parts,
Like
but
to me to
honestly,
me to me I put it up there that if you had to be forced on a desert island to watch this or to watch Kevin Smith's Jersey Girl, you fucking sign me up for Jersey Girl. I'll watch that movie and everything. That was like at the end, I think, of Benifer before they came back and everything. Or are they
yeah,
together? I have no clue. I don't keep up with that gossip stuff.
but
But
like,
either way, yeah,
no, I mean, I liked Hubie Halloween. Like
yeah.
that
Hubie's
felt
Halloween was
more of a
fun.
classic
Um,
uh,
I can't
Adam
wait.
Sandler movie
I
right
can't wait for the what's it called? The what the hell is it called? It's the sequel to the one that he did with Jennifer Aniston, where
Oh, that one's already out. Murder Mystery. I
it's the
think that
sequel.
one's already
Is
out.
that one already out?
Yeah,
Oh fuck
I
yeah! I
think
know what
so.
the hell I'm gonna watch this weekend. Well,
There you
this is
go.
this weekend that I'm recording, but my weekends are Mondays and Tuesdays, so yeah.
What
That's
day is it? Everything is
believe it
blurring
or not, I
together
thought
for
it was
me.
Sunday today, so I was not gonna stream, and then I realized fuck, it's Saturday because the people are at
Yeah.
home, and then it's like, but but yeah, yeah, no, when it comes to comedies and some action films, I think Netflix does have a really good bread and butter. But the thing is they make some terrible fucking TV shows. They really do. Black Mirror is like
And
one
they
of those
cancel the
rare
good
gems.
ones.
Well, all the good ones and everything, they don't really market them very, very well. And then like people are like,
Yeah.
oh, like, well, I don't remember them marketing this. I don't know if I should put my time in it. And it's like, dude, watch Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. It's like that's fucking
Yeah.
amazing, and it's still criminal that that still has
Human
not been renewed.
Human Resources season 2 dropped, and like I didn't see any promotion for it at all.
Is
I
that
had to go
a
look for it on my list.
huh?
It's a spinoff from that Big Mouth show, the
Oh
animated
my
show
god, really?
from
I stopped
yeah,
after I think like what? I think after season 3 or 4, it just got so filthy.
yeah.
I just could not finish. I was like, nope, I'm
I
tapping
love
out.
Phil.
I'm tapping. I love Phil too, but man, some of the shit that they were talking, and a lot of it is, like yeah, like we don't really address this, and it's like I kind of wonder why you feel kind of like dirty and everything, but at the same time, it does need to be addressed. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so um, I completely forgot what was it that we were going to discuss at the end of this. Do you remember what was it?
Uh, we were gonna go over our favorite AI generated scripts and just do a whole hour long. No, I'm kidding. but
Oh my
but,
god.
I mean, we'll be talking about like some more stuff in the coming weeks, and we're working on season 2
Mm-hmm.
of Cinema Alley.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, that's all I got right now.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just
we
thinking about
also
pizza.
we have another episode that we're gonna like record in about 2 weeks or so. That I still gotta figure out what the hell we do because, folks, Chris wanted to talk about the WGA strike and he didn't think I was gonna take that fucking bait and run with it, and I
I
fucking
mean,
did. I mean, like you gave me a
I,
topic,
man,
but I have
yeah,
all the
I
other
just,
episodes out except for like what is our third one gonna cover. So I was all like,
yeah.
okay, it's like we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out and everything.
Yeah,
We'll cross that
we could probably go
bridge.
into more detail in the next episode, but we'll figure it out.
Maybe who knows?
We're
We
winging
actually
it
may
right now.
if we can't figure it out and we're able to actually do deeper and
Yeah.
more like more of a constant update onto the writers. Like I would love to do that because you know what, like writers deserve to fucking get paid, and I know that there are some people out there that sit there and say, oh well, maybe you guys need to work more, and it's like, you know what, this shit fucking takes a lot of time. It's like until you sit
Yeah.
in that goddamn chair and you fucking do what we do, I like to sit there and see you, you know, do what you done. But there's just some people that just want to troll and be like, um, they're all like, like they sit on their ass all day. They don't really do anything. Like it just seems like an excuse to get paid more to do less. And it's all like, if only you actually knew what all went into writing.
Introduce them to my step counter.
Your step
See how
counter.
many you got. Holy shit, 16,900. Yeah, today was a busy day.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
uh,
congrats to a busy day. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up because I completely forgot what was it that we were supposed to put a pinch in to
Yeah.
talk at the end. So who knows? Maybe I'll remember and we'll bring that up. That'll
Oh,
be a
I
good
mean,
topic.
we can talk about like the shitty movies more about like what was released during the original writer's strike 10 or 15 years ago.
We could easily sit there
But
and talk
we
about
can do a
that.
whole episode of that later.
Yeah. But thank you guys again for listening. Chris, where can the folks find you on the socials?
You can find me on Zealous Slacker. Just type in Zealous Slacker, and if you find me, that's great. If you don't, it was never meant to be. It's fine.
I guess you could say the same thing for me. You can find me at the Gothic Storyteller on all my socials through TikTok, Instagram. I got rid of Twitter, thank God, and Twitch. Twitch. You can find me on there through Wednesday through Saturdays at 6 p.m. Unless I change the damn schedule again, because I've been known to constantly change my fucking schedule. It's why my numbers hasn't grown all too high. But yeah, we'll have the links down below for the Patreon. Again, I know we're pretty early at this, but we love to sit there and get those Patreon numbers going. We love doing what we're doing, and we would love to sit there and upgrade a lot of the recording, a lot of doing just everything. We love to upgrade. Maybe we can actually pay for an editor to give us some cool graphics. I don't
What
know what
is
that's like.
editing? I don't know what that is. No, okay.
But yeah,
Editors.
so yeah, we're all growing. We're currently right now at 15 subscribers on YouTube and everything. So hooray! Thank you guys so much again for those supports.
Really
I
appreciate it.
I don't have a list of who all gets name dropped, as I thank you guys for those subscribers and everything. And yeah, Chris, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up.
Okay. Wrap
Keep
it up.
wrap
Wrap
it
it
up.
up.
Wrap it up. I don't know
Hefty,
how to
hefty,
wrap up this
hefty.
show.
Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy.
Wimpy. I think that's the perfect way to end it. Good night, everyone.
Yay. Good night. Bye.